What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Front Yard Fantasy Podcast live stream. It's way too early for Christmas Music Wednesday, but I'm listening to it anyways.
Get out of here.
Do it! It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas.
Dude, quarantine time goes at a different speed, so you're allowed to start listening to Christmas music. I think the date was like September 15th, if I'm not mistaken.
March 1st.
Actually, the day restaurants
they set
closed
this
down
year.
in Atlanta was the day that we were allowed to start listening to Christmas music.
Mhm.
Oh, all right.
But we are here. It's the day before Thanksgiving. Unfortunately, we have 2 games tomorrow instead of 3. The
Hey,
Ravens.
are we doing a show tomorrow?
Yeah, we're doing a show
Yeah.
tomorrow.
Are we?
Let's
Are we
do-
deciding?
I'll be here.
Yeah.
I'll be here.
Let's do a show tomorrow. What we could do is we could do one after the afternoon game, since there is no longer a night game,
Mhm.
or we can just stick to 3:00. Come on, hang out for 30 minutes, maybe play a quick game, talk about what's going on. Nothing
Yeah.
official tomorrow. If you guys want to come hang with us tomorrow, we'll be here just hanging out. You know what? Let's set that
Yeah.
same time, 3 p.m.
We'll
Eastern.
do it. We'll be here at 3.
I'm
We'll be here
thinking
hanging out.
In future years, maybe we'll let everyone spend time with their family because you're all obligated to be here, obviously. But this year it's a weird year. People aren't traveling. Maybe you need a little haircut in your life.
Maybe a little
Bring-
Josh in your
A little,
life. You
little
know?
Josh face, yeah.
Bring some food, bring a drink. We'll have a couple beers. We'll talk about football, and we'll hang out on
Stuffing.
Thanksgiving afternoon. Stuffing.
Stuffing. Bring your stuff.
JL, I imagine your Thanksgiving dinner plate is
Mashed
just
potatoes and stuffing.
that is literally what I was gonna say. I was gonna say it's all stuffing and mashed potatoes, and that's
Oh,
it. Half
yep.
stuffing, half mashed potatoes. That's the whole
If
plate.
there's a corn or a
Ugh.
green bean, little flair in there, I like to throw a little veggie on my plate. But
Yikes.
A veggie, 1 kernel of corn or 1 green bean.
Like
Yeah.
some sweet potatoes, maybe,
No.
No.
Get out of here, Josh.
Hey, listen, I didn't know who I was talking to here. I didn't know I was talking to the.
Nah,
Sweet
here's where I
potato
stand
eater.
on sweet potatoes. I'm not a big fan of like the super sugary, like marshmallow on top, brown sugar.
Well, it's-
Yeah.
I like a
I'll take
savory.
taste.
I like a savory sweet potato. I like it like, or if it's gonna be sweet, I want it to be spicy too, like cayenne pepper and cinnamon.
Ooh, Josh.
That's my
Hey,
mom.
Hey, Mom! You better
Hey,
not be late
Mom.
for dinner.
Good vibes. Hey,
Welcome
look,
in,
yeah,
Mom.
I like it. Good vibes. Good vibes.
Glad to have you.
Yeah, for
But,
sure. for
if you've got
sure.
any fantasy
I don't-
questions, Mom,
I
let
don't
us
think
know.
she ever
Yeah.
commented on here before or came in. I don't even
Is
know.
this
if
the
she-
first time watching? Or
Yeah. It probably is.
You finally started telling
Haircut
people.
does look good.
Thanks, Swamp.
What up, Swamp?
I really appreciate that. You have no idea how much it means to me when someone comments on a new haircut. Like I almost get haircuts just so people are like, "Hey, did you get a haircut?"
Mhm.
But I appreciate
Thanks
it.
for asking.
Thanks for asking. I got it today. It's fresh. I got it like an hour and a half ago.
Nice.
Man,
So it
all of
isn't
our
even
friends are
started
in.
going back
Sean,
yet.
Welcome, Sean. Welcome, Apple MVP.
It's a
Swamp
beautiful day.
Nova. We're
Feels like a
glad-
Friday, doesn't
Glad to be
it?
hanging with y'all again. It does feel like Friday.
What?
Feels like
a
What
Friday
is?
to me.
I was thinking that earlier. It just feels like a Friday, probably because tomorrow's Thanksgiving. But
Yeah. And it's football.
we got some hot questions in here to start it off.
Super hot.
I'm not going to
Super
put
hot.
I'm not going to put all of Sean's questions on the screen or the context. I'm just going to put the question and we can talk about the context. So he's basically saying that someone wants to trade him CEH, Geo, and Duke Johnson for Chris Carson. But his starting running backs are James Robinson and Antonio Gibson at running back. And then he put in waiver claims for Gus Edwards and Frank Gore. This is in a 10-team standard league. 3 teams at 7-4, 3 teams at 6-5. He's 6-5. Got this from a 7-4 team. So you guys are fighting for some playoff spots right now. Sounds like it's really close. I know where I stand on this one. I'm keeping Chris Carson. And you basically said later that Gio and Duke are throw-ins. Duke, I think, is startable this week and this week only against the
Yeah,
Lions.
I'm not excited about it. He's had the opportunity. He hasn't done anything with it.
It's
so.
just a sexy matchup this week, and that's why I'm willing
Yeah.
to start him. But after that, and I wouldn't start him over any of your running backs, though. I wouldn't start him over Gibson. I wouldn't start him over James Robinson.
I
So
agree with your assessment, Simon. I'm merely saying I don't buy into. I'm not going to buy into the narrative that he's valuable rest of the season because David
no.
Johnson's injured.
yeah, I
until
don't think
see
he's
it.
valuable. I don't think he's valuable rest of the season. I think he's
Right.
valuable this week only.
Yeah.
Which is not enough for me to make this trade. Now, what's interesting though is if he's willing to give you Gio and Duke for Carson, he recognizes that Carson is more valuable than CEH. It looks like he recognizes that there needs to be an and piece. I would maybe come back with another offer, CEH plus maybe a wide receiver upgrade for Chris Carson. See if you could work something like that. But as the trade stands, basically CEH for Chris Carson. Give me Chris Carson through the playoffs. I love him on that Seahawks offense. That's where I stand. What about you guys?
Yeah, I'm in pretty much the same exact boat you are. I could easily see Clyde Edwards-Helaire having a better rest of season than Carson, but I doubt it happens if Carson stays healthy. Carson, when he's healthy and he's the lead running back for the Seahawks, he has been awesome, to put it simply. You know, he's basically a top 5 running back as long as he's healthy. That's the big question, though. So is Clyde Edwards-Helaire a little bit safer?
What did you say yesterday? You were like, Carlos Hyde has been doing well there.
Yes.
What does that tell you for when Chris Carson gets back?
But seriously, like he is. And I mean, Chris Carson's a much better running back at Carlos Hyde at this point. I'd rather have Chris Carson, especially since you held on to him this long.
Is this CEH or Gio?
No,
No,
I think it's CEH, then Gio and Duke. I think he was just separating them by like the piece that's the super valuable piece.
He gets into it
later. I was gonna say that's okay.
And
I would do what Simon says. I would try and move them away from Gio and Duke Johnson. See if you can get an upgraded piece somewhere else instead of just like more depth, more middling depth.
The last thing I'll say about this though is that like Josh said, CEH is safer, but safe doesn't win championships. Safe might get you to the semifinals. I think Chris Carson has the higher upside, and if you're going for a championship, you need things to go right. Even if you've got the best team in the league, I'm holding on to Carson to win a title.
And I think Carson plays this week.
I do too. If I had to bet, if I was a betting man, I'd put money on Carson playing this week.
If you can get a better asset other than Gio or Duke, I'd take that.
Yeah.
I'd take that trade. Like CEH and Carson aren't that big, like different for me rest of the season. So I think I probably wouldn't do. I probably would take Carson given these two. But if you can finagle that into a better.
Let's see, CEH plus who's a receiver you could probably throw in.
Robbie Anderson,
his team, but
DJ Moore,
Curtis Samuel. Let's just say all the Panthers wide receivers. CEH plus Christian Kirk. Would you do that?
Probably.
There's also this situation where like I don't know your team, Sean. So like maybe you have a wide receiver that you're starting, you don't feel incredibly comfortable with. I see you have Shark here and Crowder and stuff. Maybe you can add one of those receivers in with Carson, upgrade both positions, kind of deal. You know, if he needs a wide receiver to make a move like that. Lots of ways to think about this, but it's hard not knowing the teams. But I would hold on to Chris Carson.
He said in week 16, Chiefs play Falcons, Seahawks play Rams. Does that factor? It does, but not really that
not
much.
Enough for me.
Because like you got to get there first. And so if you're, it doesn't make sense to really make a decision assuming that you're gonna get to week 16. Obviously, it's nice if you get there, and the better matchup is obviously CEH with Falcons, but that's it's sort of like 4 or 5 leaps of logic away from that.
Yep.
I don't look at week 16 alone. You got to look at the playoffs.
The playoffs, it's better.
14, 15, 16. So, like JL said, you got to get there. So,
yep.
All right.
Okay, now this one I don't know. He says he rosters Lutz. Koo is killing it though. His wide receiver 5 is Parker. Wide receiver 6 is Samuel. RB2 3 is Ahmed. Do I try trading one of them for Koo? I don't do that. I don't trade for kickers. I don't know. How I decide my kicker is the one I drafted unless they get injured or they're on bye, and then I drop them and I pick up a new one. I do not do kicker analysis. I know some people do. I'm not the guy for that. Do either of you guys have a strong opinion?
Take all the arguments against like one QB, like late round quarterback, one tight end. And just like compound it, and it becomes like the super argument against kickers. The value above replacement is just not really worth it. There's too much variability, and so I'm not going to give up a flex asset to upgrade a kicker who is probably not going to give you that much of an edge.
Yeah, I'd be much more concerned about your running back 2-3 being Ahmad. So,
Yeah.
maybe
I
you're
would try
looking
and
at the
trade.
wrong position.
Yeah, I would try and
Yeah.
focus on your running backs, especially
maybe,
if wide
yeah.
receiver 5 is Parker. You probably could trade some wide receiver depth for some more, some safer running back depth.
That's exactly what I would do.
Okay, Swamp Nola wants to get our
Swamp
opinion on his
Nola!
team.
I love
Swamp?
it when people give us their whole lineup. It's so much fun.
Me too. And little spoiler alert, we're going to be doing some of that today. We're going to show you guys some of our favorite or interesting teams, break them down a little bit. So Swamp Nola's lineup, starting quarterback, Matty Ice. His running backs right now are Chris Carson and Kalen Balaj. Wide receiver, he's got Diggs and Godwin. Tight end, Mark Andrews. Flex, Michael Pittman and Nelson Aguilar. Kickers, Zoroline. Defense, Colts. Then on his bench, he's got Teddy B, backup quarterback, J.D. McKissick, CMC, Myles Gaskin, and Travis Fulgham. When CMC's back, you're solid. Like this looks like a playoff team to me. You can correct me if I'm wrong. But
yeah, I love McKissick. McKissick is a very nice depth piece there.
You had it looks like you might have had some rough weeks injury wise at your running back position with CMC out and then Carson being out.
Yeah, wide receiver.
Yeah, but if you can make it into the playoffs with a healthy Chris Carson, CMC, Diggs, Godwin, you're gonna be good to go. This is a Pittman coming into his own right now.
Get excited for Pittman. Aguilar, I don't know. I have no idea what to think of him.
This team's sick. I love this team. It's awesome that Mark Andrews had a good week. Give you a little bit more confidence in him, and I think he's going to continue to play better and better. I really do. Matty Ice, I'd be a little concerned about a quarterback, but it is what it is. There might be some better options, even as free agents. I'm not sure how your league works exactly.
What is your guys' opinion on Nick Mullins? Because I picked him up in a couple leagues and needed him in Superflex. I'm curious. I'm not entirely sure how I feel about him. It looks like Jimmy G is going to be out a while. He might get surgery, but it's unclear.
Mm-hmm.
And Mullins has been killing it. He's been doing very well.
Yeah.
What is your rest of season thoughts on him?
Fine. If I have an option, he's a streaming option and a good matchup. Like I'm totally fine plugging him in. JL, I know at least one of the leagues you're talking about. He was literally the
co-managed league. Yeah.
Our co-managed league. It's a super flex league, and he was legitimately the only. Joe Burrow went down. We were starting Tom Brady and Joe Burrow all season.
And we're tied for first place with Marcus G. I mean, not bragging or anything, but
Marcus Grant, NFL Network. I don't know if you've heard of him, but we had to pick up Nick.
Basically better fantasy analysts than Marcus Grant.
We did beat him. We did beat him head to head.
We did beat him head to head.
But he is on TV every day, so he's got that one on us. You win some, you lose some.
This is on TV.
Yeah.
Nick Mullins was the only starting quarterback available on waivers, and honestly, I was fine with it. He's going to be good enough.
The last 3 weeks, week 8, Seattle, 31.9 points. Oh, you know what? This scoring is super weird in this league. Let me look at a different. It's that Breonna Taylor league where it's like all the scoring is just way out of whack. Let's see. PPR doesn't matter. 17.52, 11.64, 12.18. And Green Bay and New Orleans were pretty decent matchups. And his playoffs are Buffalo, good matchup. Washington, not great.
That's
not
a tough
terrible.
matchup.
And Dallas.
That's a great matchup.
I started at week 13. I'm sorry. Washington, Dallas, Arizona. So Dallas and Arizona are great matchups. Washington's not great, but
that's a tough matchup. But yeah, that's a pretty good playoff schedule for the most part. I'm fine with Nick Mullins. Swamp, he said Aguilar's a boomer bust flex. 100% agree with that. Travis Fulgham, I'm holding him another week. I'm going to see what he looks like. I'm not plugging him into your starting lineup. But depending on what you need this week, if you need that boom, keep Aguilar in there. If you just need 10 points, I would throw J.D. McKissick in there probably.
Need to bring the boom, keep Aguilar.
Yep. Okay, let's see.
What up, Julian?
What's up, Julian? Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving
Go
to you,
Josh. That's what I like this guy.
What? Go Josh.
You gotta get you back on the show, Julian. When did we have him on? A couple weeks ago?
Yeah. Go Josh.
It could have been a year ago. I'm not sure.
A year.
This time,
That
time
makes a lot
doesn't
of
mean
sense,
anything to
Apple
me right now.
MVP.
He says only have to start one running back in this league. Two
That was
flex.
the league we
RB1
said
and
maybe
Cook.
upgrade the running back position because his 2-3 running back was Ahmad, but
Only have to
yeah,
start
knowing
one
that.
running back. Wow, that's interesting. Okay, that does change it a little bit. Less
So,
scarcity.
I still get scared trading for a kicker, but then Ahmed.
Still would not. It doesn't change my
but there's
Ahmed.
probably only one more week out of Salvin Ahmed that you're going to get
Yeah.
good, that you're going to get like startable production from. And if you're not starting him anyways, and you think, I'm not going to tell you that's an upgraded kicker because I have no opinion on it. I don't know if it is. Scoring wise, so far through the season, I think so. But if you believe that's an upgraded kicker, I think you can make that trade. I just would never have the guts to do it because I would hate to lose out on a piece that I needed during the playoffs for a kicker. Okay.
Yeah, I agree with that.
You guys ready to jump in and look at our teams a little bit?
Yeah.
Everyone can showcase one team.
Yeah.
We'll try to keep it kind of short because I gotta kick Josh's butt and
Thank you for the
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing that question, Sean. That was an interesting one to,
that was awesome.
break down.
Yeah, thank you. Really appreciate it. Who dat?
Who
It's swampy.
dat?
It's swampy. It is swampy in here. If you guys don't mind, I'm gonna share my team first. I'm gonna go ahead.
Go for it. Do it.
That's what I want to
I
do.
want you to do it.
I was going to share a different team. I was going to share one of my dynasty leagues, but JL sharing a team from that league. So I decided I'm going to show you one of my Superflex redraft teams where I took a very different draft strategy than I usually do, like wildly different. I am usually late quarterback, late tight end. That's how I do it. But I'm going to go ahead and throw this up, and we're going to take a look at what I did in this league. So this is a full PPR Superflex. 2 running back, 2 wide receiver, 2 flex, and a super flex league. And how I started this league, I was drafting near the top of the first round. I think second overall. And I took, what's up, MV? Happy Turkey
Whatever,
Day.
dude. Probably hear me downstairs. Happy Turkey Day. Except we don't eat turkey.
I eat turkey.
MV and I don't.
Speak for yourself.
I speak for MV and myself.
Oh, MV. I know that.
You just thought it was a random person.
I thought it was Marquez Valdez-Scantling.
Oh yeah.
Just drop the S.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of the S.
Marquez Valdez. The end.
That's got a ring to it.
Marquez Valdez. But for this team, I drafted Lamar Jackson with the 2nd overall pick. And then on the way back in the 2nd round, Travis Kelce was sitting there staring at me. So I went quarterback, tight end to start this draft, and then figured I would be able to piece my team together a little bit after that. And I knew I was going to have to play the waiver wire with the running backs. So
I can tell you've had so many good lucky breaks with this team already. You got Herbert, you got what's the other one I was just looking at?
James Robinson,
Kareem Hunt, James Robinson.
Kareem Hunt was not a lucky break.
It was though, and that it was a value, is what I'm saying. Not
okay.
Yeah,
I wouldn't
lucky
call
break is the wrong thing. What I'm saying is
I was targeting Kareem Hunt as a 5th, 6th round running back in all of my leagues because I believed he had top 12 upside, even with Nick Chubb on the field.
I should have said you have a ton of great value here because I can tell if you would have drafted this team, it would not have looked as good right after the draft as it does now.
No, absolutely not. This team looked a little bit rough after the draft. It looked a little bit naked. My starting running backs for Kareem Hunt and Jonathan Taylor. Kenyon Drake and Jonathan Taylor. Kenyon Drake has now been relegated to my bench. But yeah, for sure. So I'm just going to run.
You're muted, Josh. Can't hear you.
I'm just going to run through it. I picked up James Robinson because my running backs were a little bit scary, and I paid up big for him. And then at wide receiver, I've got the 2 guys I've got in every league: Amari Cooper, DJ Moore, and then Will Fuller. And let's look at my other wide receivers: Antonio Brown, Deebo Samuel, and Justin Jefferson. So those are my wide
Justin
receivers.
Jefferson's another great value
for sure. Yeah, that was another waiver wire.
He should be in your lineup over Jonathan Taylor, probably.
I think he's going to be, but that's what
definitely should be.
Well, thanks for bragging. I don't think we can help this team at all. No, this is a good team.
What I was going to say is the thing that is tough about this team is I feel like I have a lot of players for these 2 flex spots that are similarly valued, and I struggle every single week with my start-sit decisions more than any other league because I'm going to start Kareem Hunt, James Robinson, but with the quarterback change in Dallas and then DJ Moore's production with Robbie Anderson there, Amari Cooper, DJ Moore, Will Fuller, Jonathan Taylor, Kenyon Drake, Antonio Brown and Justin Jefferson are
Yeah, you're
all
thinking about these guys every week.
roughly similar.
Yeah.
And Debo when he's healthy too.
and
really.
Debo when he's healthy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Luckily he's saved me from some of those decisions. But
yeah.
Mari Cooper, what a sudden like change of events. So I think week 4, week 5, I was pretty certain that he was going to continue, before Dak got injured, that he was going to keep being top 5 wide receiver, but it has not gone well.
no, it's been fine. It's been fine since then. He scores like 13 points a week and we're just cool with that. It's all
DJ
Yeah.
had like the exact opposite trajectory. It was like started off terrible, and then has gotten decent.
good. Yeah.
They've met in the middle.
I feel like most of my teams that whenever I construct them, I've got studs and then my bench is kind of scrubby. Like that's how I generally build teams, or that's how they end up happening. I've got a bunch of like studs and then I've got shots that I took, and a lot of times they don't pan out. And so my start sit decisions are easy. So this team's been interesting to manage just because
What's your record?
I never know who to start. What is my record? I can't even remember. We are 7-4 in this league.
Who did you play last week?
I can't remember. We don't even have to talk about it.
This team.
Yeah. Last
Josh,
week I played.
This league has not been kind to you.
No. I mean, yeah, it's not for money. So
That's
Last
true.
week I
It's just
played
fun.
JL in this league, and his 8-3 team took down my team. But you know what? That's okay. We should both make the playoffs. This is my most interesting team this year, I think. And it comes from
team. It's a sweet team.
Lamar Jackson has been wildly
I didn't notice how
underperforming.
good it was.
I actually relegated, just symbolically, I moved Justin Herbert into the main QB spot and put Lamar Jackson down in the super flex spot because I week to week trust Justin Herbert more than I do Lamar Jackson now, which has been absolutely wild.
Yeah, that's nuts, but it's right.
But yeah, Josh, you want to show us your team?
Yes, I do want to show you my team.
While you pull that up, Apple MVP asked us a question. I'm going to throw that up there. Non-PPR, start 2 wide receivers, 2 flex. Wide receivers are Hopkins, Julio, Galladay, Kupp, Parker, Samuel. Whew. So you need to start 4 of these guys?
It's a nice problem to have.
Hopkins, Julio, Galladay, Kupp, Parker, Samuel.
Hopkins, Julio.
Yeah,
Galladay,
if Julio's playing, you play him. Even if he's a little bit hobbled. If Julio's in the game, then you're going to play him.
I start wasn't fun.
Hopkins, Julio, Kupp, and then Galladay if he's playing. If not, then
What do we know about Galladay?
Wide receivers 2 flex.
Sits out practice Tuesday, and he plays tomorrow, of course, because he's a Lion.
Let's see. Their other question is, do you think I'd be able to package Julio and Galladay for one healthy upgrade? Thinking Tyreek Hill, Devontae Adams, or Michael Thomas. I'm not sure Michael Thomas is an upgrade right now with Taysom Hill at quarterback. Devontae Adams and Tyreek. Talent-wise, absolutely.
Yeah.
If you could package them for Tyreek or Devontae Adams, I would probably do it, just so you know you've got a healthy option, but I don't think you need to.
Yeah.
Josh,
yeah. If I can
you
get
take
Devontae
over.
Adams, I'd probably do it.
I'm not sure.
I don't know if you'd be able to get that, but
yeah. If both those guys are healthy, you're starting them, in my opinion. So just to answer your first question. So yeah, it'd be Hopkins, Julio, Galladay, and Kupp. So that's easy. I know you're worried about their health. For your question about the trade, I think I would do it. I think I'd make a trade like that.
So Apple MVP, it's going to be a little bit harder to convince your league mate to make that trade since it's like singular position. You're going from wide receiver to wide receiver. And so like pretty much the major dimension here is like, do they need depth? And do they believe that they're getting that value back in depth? It might make sense to see go see those rosters where Devontae Adams, Tyreek Hill are, and see if they have a need at a different position that you're strong at, and see if you can make it. If you can make that trade, I would do it. I'm just saying, if you have trouble getting your league mate to agree to that trade, you might want to consider changing positions, seeing if you can take that approach. Let's
see. Yeah, and you do have a couple weeks until playoffs for everyone to get healthy. And with a wide receiver core like that, I bet you're in the playoffs. That's disgusting. Hopkins, Julio,
Yeah.
Cup.
Nola says Hopkins and Cup feel good with.
Yeah, for sure. Man, did Cup show up? I know we talked about it yesterday, but I'm just talking about it again. That was crazy. Oh,
Yeah, where
is my-
did you go, Simon?
oh, thanks, Swamp. Who knows? The haircut turned off the camera. Here I am. Okay, Josh, you want to run us through this team a little bit? Give us some context about the kind of league.
Yeah, so first of all, this is a dynasty league that I'm in with a bunch of my buddies. There's 12 teams. And it's a PPR league.
Is Clock in this league?
Clock is in this league. Yes, that is why it's called
why
You're
it's
on the
called
Clock.
Gotcha.
Yeah. It honestly is really annoying that's called You're on the Clock because whenever this pops up, I think I'm on the clock for something. I really do. I'll get a sleeper notification. It'll say You're on the clock, and I'll be like, oh, especially around like draft time. But I digress. Anyway, so this is my team, and I wanted to show you guys this team because it's not necessarily my best team per se, but it's probably my favorite team. You know, there's 12 teams in the league. Like I said, you start one quarterback, two running backs, 3 wide receivers, 1 tight end, and 2 flex. So you also have a lot of depth. Yeah, a lot of depth. And my team is really, 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 really young. I got a ton of rookies. I made a lot of trades this year. So I'll just go through it here. You got Josh Allen, Jonathan Taylor, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, the 2 top draft picks this year. CeeDee Lamb, Deontay Johnson. No super flex in this one.
T. Higgins, that's what I like to see.
Yeah, DJ Chark, TJ Hawkinson.
Oh,
let's just pause.
Rager.
Yeah, I was about to say, let's pause and talk about how young and deep your wide receiver core is. Go back up a little bit.
Yeah.
CeeDee Lamb, Deontay Johnson, DJ Chark, T. Higgins, and Jalen Rager as 5 starting wide receivers on your team.
Is this a startup draft this year?
No, this is our second year in the league. And at the end of last year, you know, my team was good. I had Julio, but I decided I didn't actually get every pick. I decided I did want to go into a rebuild because my team was fine. I made the playoffs last year, but it just, you have to be honest with yourself. And I wasn't going to win a championship with my team. So yeah, I traded off a bunch of guys for picks. I traded Zeke. I traded Julio. I traded Stephon Diggs. Which, you know, I kind of wish I had Stephon Diggs now, but it's all good. And I made a bunch of trades this year to just continue to get younger. And if you see, I'm actually 6-5, and I'm definitely going to make the playoffs. It looks like, unless, you know, I lose the next 2 games and some people get lucky. But I'm surprised I'm making the playoffs with this league. And who knows, people could get hot and maybe I get a little weird, you know?
Nice. What's your bench look like in this league?
Just go through my bench. You got Brashard Perryman. I just picked up Jordan Howard, Josh Reynolds, who I like actually, Matt Breida, Mike Gesicki, a good backup tight end to have, especially for getting younger.
Was it last week someone asked us who's the player that like you just don't touch? You've just been burning. Jordan Howard comes to mind now. I forgot to mention him. And Matt Breida, both of them.
Yeah, I like him a lot better on the Eagles, actually, believe it or not. If something happened to Miles Sanders, I do think he would get a lot of work. But yeah, Mike Gesicki, Nyheim Hines, Dawson Knox, Tony Pollard, more receiver, Brian Edwards here, Anthony McFarland.
Your bench depth is a little less comforting, I think.
So,
yeah,
a lot of potential, but like if I had to plug any of those guys in, I'd be like, oh god.
So Swamp says you have 3 tight ends, Josh. Why? This is a dynasty league, and how deep is your bench? So these are
1, 2. You got like 15 bench positions.
So yeah, you have 15 bench spots, and you keep your entire roster from year to year. And if you look on the waiver wire in this league, I'm sure the tight ends are bare.
Oh, I also have J.K. Dobbins.
So that's probably why he's got that many tight ends. Oh, J.K. Dobbins down there. Nice.
Yeah, all the rookies.
Listen, man, I just made a trade for J.K. Dobbins, and I haven't even told you 2 about this trade. I traded DJ Moore for J.K. Dobbins and Brian Edwards.
Okay.
I don't care how you guys feel about it. Well, I do care a little bit, but I like it.
I think
I like the move for this team.
It's a good trade to make because I think most people are going to accept that trade.
I was offered the trade, believe it or not.
Really? Okay. It's all about how you feel about Dobbins and the potential, right?
I just made that trade before last week.
Oh, you just made that trade?
Yeah, going into last week.
Nice.
I love seeing T. Higgins on there.
Yeah.
On any team.
So I love the team. It's super young. We don't have to get into it anymore. I'm just maybe not as excited this year, but super excited for next year.
This is like the quarantine. You've got just guys that you drafted, just rookies who came out during like this weird 2020 season. That's what this whole team is. Plus Josh Allen and Deontay Johnson.
Deontay Johnson. I also DJ Chark. TJ Hawkinson. But yeah, mostly.
But it's really like the oldest starter on your team has been in the league like 2 years.
Literally. Well, other than let's see. yeah, you're
other
right.
Than your kicker.
Zane Gonzalez is like the oldest guy on my team.
The tight end strategy the 3 tight end strategy makes sense without having like a stud either. Like if you had Mark Andrews or
I don't know. I think Hawk is moving his way into that stud category.
He is, but I would take the same approach that Josh is taking, which is getting that depth because I think, like you said, Simon, like the waiver wire is going to be thin. This tight end is the worst.
Yeah. So Swamp says he's saying y'all have an IR.
What?
Lucky they have an IR, but they agree only for players with COVID to be in it.
Change that rule.
4
Wait,
is
in your dynasty league or redraft league?
I think redraft.
Yeah, redraft.
I still like having IR. It puts the teams at such a disadvantage. Like if you have someone like CMC, and it just like snowballs the competitiveness, right? Like where all of a sudden you can't fill in that position, but you're not going to drop CMC.
You're already getting punished because CMC can't be in your starting lineup. You don't need to get double punished by also either having to drop him or losing a bench spot.
And as soon as he comes back, you've got to drop someone. So it's I think it's a good leveler of fairness.
That's a really fun team, Josh.
Thank you.
That's a super fun dynasty team. You're inspiring me. I think I've got a team. I think I've got a team I need to do something similar with this offseason. That's good, but not going to win. It's not going to win a title. It'll probably keep making the playoffs and losing in the first round.
You got to be honest with yourself. In Dynasty, the worst possible thing you could do is be a middling team. You're not getting good draft picks and you're not winning the championship. So what are you doing? Figure it out. Do one or the other.
Figure it out.
We're looking at you, Jaguars.
Well, they're doing a good job this year of getting a high draft pick.
Yeah, they're going for that pick.
JL, you want to show us your team?
Yeah. All right. So this is my favorite. This is my favorite dynasty league. I'm co-commissioner with these two fine fellas, and I started this up a couple years ago for friends who were like very, listen to podcasts, who are like really engaged. My team is kind of a piece of garbage, but that's okay. I wanted to show it today because it's been a really interesting way of learning the rebuild strategy and how to do it properly. And you can kind of see this in progress since, Simon took the easy one, just showed us his amazing super team.
That was my worst team.
I could show you Simon's
I'm just
worst
kidding.
team. No, actually, all your teams this year have been pretty good. So I have a lot of good rookie talent. I had a lot of picks this past rookie draft. I really needed running back depth. I think I drafted Dalvin Cook in the startup draft, and I traded him for Stephon Diggs, and then traded Stephon Diggs before he blew up, so that didn't work out too well. And then a lot of good wide receiver young talent, but just hasn't quite been there. Recently, I made a trade. I had Josh Jacobs. I traded Josh here, Saquon and Dak for Josh Jacobs. At that point, I had lost OBJ, and so I knew I wasn't going to compete this year. Considering he was my wide receiver one. And so at that time, that decision made sense. Got T. Higgins, my friend.
We both have T. Higgins and Jalen Reagor in the two leagues we showed.
I can't
and
get
J.K. Dobbins.
In any league. None of my league, all my league mates know I love Deshaun Watson, and they won't give him to me.
Gotta make you pay.
I mean, it's Cortland Sutton, a lot of injuries. And so I'm just going to take the L. I'm going to take the L this season. I don't actually have any draft picks this upcoming year. There are two teams that are decided.
Well, you have draft picks, just not extra.
I don't have extra draft picks. Sorry.
Yes,
I have all of my draft picks, but two other teams are rebuilding and have stackpiled all the picks, and so it's made it hard to do that because they're not going to really give us up. But
they have all the picks.
They have all of them.
All the picks. I forgot to tell you guys. In my other league that I just showed, I do have like 3 second-round picks, I believe, this upcoming year, which is cool.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, this team is rough, but you do looking at it, you can see the promise with Jonathan Taylor, Saquon Barkley.
You got some bones.
There's bones. Yeah, I need like
Michael Pittman
to break my way in the next season for it to be like, all right, let's transition out of rebuild. I thought the season was going to be that season. I had OBJ, I had Jonathan Taylor, Dobbins. Who else do I have? Not many running backs.
J.K.
Josh Jacobs.
Josh Jacobs.
Yes. And OBJ, Mike Williams, Michael Gallup, which if you remember back, 11 weeks ago, he was considered wide receiver 1 for the Cowboys.
CeeDee Lamb's just the truth, man.
He is. So a lot of things didn't break my way, and I'm adapting to that, and we're gonna see if we can do it again next year.
I thought Michael Gallup was going to be great this year. I had all 3 of those guys projected for over 900 receiving yards this season, and I think if Dak would have played the whole year, we would have gotten close. But
yeah, seriously. I mean, Amari and CeeDee definitely.
Yeah, Amari
and then
CeeDee.
I am
yesterday.
Swamp.
I said it yesterday. I said yesterday I was a game behind you in this league, Simon. We actually have the same record.
Yeah, here's Josh and Simon.
I noticed that today. Yeah, we're up the top there. There's just one person ahead of us.
Yeah.
Yeah. Apple, that's a really interesting question because really one or two things break your way and all of a sudden you're a contender. There was our other dynasty league that the 3 of us are in together. I was the last place team, like absolute last place. And I actually had the number 1 pick going into the next year's draft. And that was the year Saquon was coming out. But instead of drafting Saquon, I traded that pick for Lev Bell and Tyreek Hill. And that was the year Lev Bell held out and the year Tyreek Hill didn't play the first part of the season because of the domestic violence issues. So I traded away Saquon Barkley for nothing, basically. But what happened was I did draft Nick Chubb. And then I picked up Philip Lindsay. I picked up Philip Lindsay with like the first week of the season for most of my fab. And I won a title that year. It was supposed to be a rebuild season after I made that awful trade. But you get 1 or 2 things to break your way. A lucky waiver wire pickup, draft pick overperforming towards the end of the year.
James Robinson, one of those like no one's expecting going into the season.
Exactly.
Top 5,
yeah.
I wouldn't say it happens often, but it does happen. Josh is doing
probability. Yep.
Yeah, in the league I just showed. I mean, I just went for freaking young people. I did not even want to like necessarily. I'm not saying I was trying to lose at all. I still wanted to win games. I still want to beat my buddies, but I was going just for the rebuild. I was just trying to get younger, and now I'm 6-5, and it's going to be tough not to make the playoffs at this point. And I actually like my team. I could make a splash. So we'll see.
I'll tell you what, Dynasty, if you haven't played it, I highly recommend it.
So much fun.
Even though my team is garbage, I love playing this because there's so much more strategy when you have to keep your team year over year. And it's, it adds all this like long-term thinking to where like, while my team is terrible, I know like, it's like, it's a puppet master. I'm like moving things around, trying to make it so that next year I'm going to come back strong. So highly recommend it.
And this is where trading makes fantasy fun, man. Like
trades and Dynasty.
I've never heard that before.
Trades and Dynasty are so much fun. You can make these blockbuster trades, and then you start including draft picks for the following year, all this stuff.
I was thinking that I had this like dream the other day where we had these shirts with just Josh's like face on it, like cartoon version face, and it's just like trading makes fantasy fun. And they sold out in one day.
We got to make sure it's like that. That's awesome. Apple says I always end a redraft season thinking, man, I wish I could run this back 100%. That's the fun part about Dynasty. You start to create this team that you get to love, and then it's not done. You get to keep building it, watching it evolve, adapt. It's really fun. Okay, Sean wants to know, before we jump into poll perception, Josh Allen or Justin Herbert this week. What we could do is we could do 3 rounds, and we could do the style where Josh and I both guess a number, and we can both score. Keep it a little bit faster. What do you think?
We could do that.
Let's see. But Josh Allen or Justin Herbert this week, they play each other. Sean, just so you know, my girlfriend is facing this exact same decision in the league where she has to make the playoffs, or where she has to win to make the playoffs. Exact decision. Those are her 2 starting quarterbacks, and I'm torn. So I'm gonna let you guys. I'm gonna let you guys answer first.
Thank you so much for giving us the easy one.
Yeah.
Wow. It's a really tough decision.
I'm going Josh Allen, but not by much. So I think you're set up either way.
I'm going Josh Allen too, but man, I can't blame you.
Should get that checked out. Make sure you get tested, Swamp.
Man, yeah, Josh Allen for me, but
I think the matchup is similar for both of them. I think they're both giving up similar production to the quarterback.
It's better for Justin Herbert than Josh Allen.
The
matchup's better for
I'm going to
Justin.
pull this up. Okay, so the Bills are averaging, they're giving up 20.5 fantasy points to opposing quarterbacks each week on average, and the Chargers are giving up 20.12. So the Bills is a little bit better of a matchup just from a numbers standpoint, but I know that doesn't take the whole story into account, who they've played and all that. I think I'm still starting Josh Allen though. I don't have the guts to bench him for Herbert, even though Herbert's been killing it. I think I'd throw Josh Allen in there.
Herbert.
Yeah.
Herbert.
Is mom still in here?
My mom?
Yeah.
I have no idea.
Let's
Mom.
see. Sean really wants to get into
Get me
Dynasty.
up.
And then he said, Apple, if these guys do a Dynasty League, let's do it. I really think we should, as the season comes to an end, we'll start getting the details together about throwing together a stream league, a Dynasty league. We can talk about it, vote like how we want it, super flex, regular. We'll figure it out.
Pretty
but that
much,
would be,
Josh is like a fiend at this point. Well, how many did
Let's
you
do it.
get this past season?
I don't know. I joined 4 new Dynasty leagues.
This past season. What about the season before?
Just one.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm in 6 total
okay.
Dynasty leagues.
this person's name is very, very relevant to their question. Controversial. Oh, I read it as like controversial. So let's just read it as
that's
controversial.
It is controversial.
That is, yeah, it's a play on words.
Yeah.
And then let's look
Clever.
at the question. What do you think of Taysom Hill losing tight end eligibility? However, I'm choosing to leave him in at tight end. So I saw this. If you,
Yeah, if
your,
you
your
don't
roster
change
is
it.
your roster's locked if he's in at tight end. You cannot make other roster moves, but you can leave him in at tight end and not move him. I think if I was commissioner of the league, I would manually take him out of the tight end spot for you. But, and I said this last week whenever people were crying unfair about Taysom Hill even having tight end eligibility, I'll say it again this week. You play within the rules of the system, and if it allows you to do it, then you can do it. And it's straight up bull hunky. I'm going to say that. Like, I'll let you know. You know it's bull hunky. I can tell by the emoji you threw at the end there. We know it's bull hunky, but if it lets you do it, it's fair game.
Yeah.
That's where I stand on it. I can think it's nonsense. Other people can think it's nonsense, but if
Hopefully you got to manufacture a win last week.
Yeah.
Because you got to play him right in there and he did well. So
the only thing I would say is if the commissioner moves him out of your tight end spot or makes that move, I would
make
not
a big stink.
I would not make a big stink about it. I would just
make a
say,
big
I would
stink.
say, yep, you're right. I would say you're 100%
You always
right.
make a big stink. You always got to do it.
Yeah, I do make big stinks all the time.
You do.
That's a pretty controversial question. So good one. I agree with these guys though.
Swamp's
Man,
not good as
you-
Oh, we're
you're
building a
probably
league
gonna have
now.
to move
Sean, Apple, Swamp. We got 6. We got 6 people, boys.
I don't know what
That's
hits you.
easy whipping up on these boys. Okay, let's get into the game.
Yeah,
We
let's
talk
get
a
into
lot
the
of
game.
shit, and then we can't ever hit a prize picks entry.
That's different though.
We
That's
talk a
not-
whole lot of
that's not even
smack.
fantasy, really.
Can't back
like,
it up.
That's completely different.
Yeah, we
All right, you guys ready for some poll perception?
I am. I'm ready to beat
Yeah.
Josh.
You got
I
to make
said
this
I'm-
15-minute speed round.
So let's do. I say we adjust it. Remember the one time we played where both people gave a percentage, and then we could each score. Like everybody could get points in all the
The
rounds.
same scoring.
Same
just-
scoring, but
yeah.
both people give a percentage. What do you
Yeah.
think about that, JL?
Fine with me.
Whoop whoop. And we'll see how many rounds we can get done. I'd say 3 minimum. If we got time, we'll do rounds 4 and 5.
All right, my notebook's downstairs, so I'm gonna have to do some of this math in my head.
If only you had a computer
Oh, I don't.
or a phone.
I don't have that.
Huh.
There's other things that are capable of working here, Joe.
Small, because it'd be funny if we had a league and then you guys still ask this question. That would honestly would be fun. Like
That would be awesome.
I always take the approach of like I think it's like kind of silly where people act like there's a scarcity mindset on like information and
too.
fantasy. Like for a while, Simon and I were focused on trading and building like a trade mediation tool, and people would act like, oh, like I can't reveal my cards to my league mate. Like I can't let them know how I value this player, and it's like it's kind of counterintuitive because everyone knows the same amount of information unless they're not paying attention. But like,
Or it's all
otherwise,
out there.
It's
out
all
there.
probability. Yeah. So like I could tell you this. This is how I feel about a player based off what I know, but it's still, you got to make your own decision.
Oh, is there almost a special guest on JL side? JL actually has an arm that just hangs from that door and randomly opens and closes it.
I thought
It's
I
a-
heard the door, but I didn't know.
it's
I
a
didn't
fully
notice.
it's a fully animatronic arm, loose
I
from
spent
a
a
body.
lot of
that's
money on it. It was like $3,000 from Japan. It's a very impulse buy.
It's
Um,
worth it. It was worth
but-
every penny.
What you're saying, Swamp, I love, like, if you weren't getting like if we weren't answering your question, someone else would. Know what I mean? And I'm not hiding any information, even from people I'm in a league with. If people I'm playing against want my help, I helped my girlfriend when she was playing me last week, set a
She
lineup.
whooped your ass.
She whooped my butt. But
Ooh.
the information's out there. I'd rather be in a league with you guys and have you guys still come in here asking the same questions than send you elsewhere just because we're in a league together. That's not fun.
All right, you guys ready?
Let's do it. See,
We got
appre-
good answers too, though. I mean, like we love our fantasy football. I've been playing
These
fantasy football
birds
myself for
don't lie.
18 years now. I
These birds
like
don't
to say.
18 years.
You're only
Literally.
18 years old, though.
16 years old.
Yep. Well, since I've been I'm 18 now,
Barely
guys.
legal. Oh yeah, that's right.
Okay.
Sorry, Mom.
About to graduate high school. If I had this any beard in high school, but
You look like you could be
Some
a high
kids did.
schooler from a movie.
Yeah,
that would make a lot of sense.
Yeah,
in
you're
movies, all high schoolers look like they're 25.
Okay, let's
All
jump
right.
in. We got 12 minutes. We got to get 3 rounds through.
All right, we're gonna go quick. All right, round 1. In a Superflex Dynasty League, what percentage of the fantasy football community prefers Taysom Hill over Jameis Winston and Drew Brees?
In a Superflex Dynasty League, what percentage of the fantasy football community prefers Taysom Hill himself over both Jameis Winston and Drew Brees?
So it was a three-way poll.
Hmm.
What percentage chose?
Oh,
Taysom.
so it's not Taysom Hill over Jameis
Yes,
Winston plus Drew
yes.
Brees.
Yeah, it's a 3-way poll.
Oh, so okay, gotcha. So
Sorry,
people
I
voted
should have
for all
worded that
three of
better.
these,
Yes.
three of these people.
Yeah.
Gotcha. That makes sense. Yes.
In my head, that didn't matter, but then when you said it out loud, it really does matter.
Yeah. It just looked like a trade, Taysom Hill versus.
Yeah.
But
Let me get
Now
some.
I get it.
Let me get some better paper to write on.
I mean, it's a.
This is the tough one. I think I've got the correct answer
Oh.
though.
I realized what that special get. It was dropping off my notebook. Hold on.
Swamp Knoll, I see your question. You said this is after Taysom Hill played or before. I'm assuming it's 99% of the time it's after he's played. It's a more recent poll, correct, JL?
Yes.
Cool.
Is they're all from this week.
Awesome.
Man, I wish every time I was like, man, I wish I had this thing. It just like plopped in from a disembodied arm.
That'd be awesome. I've got my answer.
All right, show it.
Josh,
All
you have
right,
yours?
hold on. Yeah,
Josh,
I
write
did
yours
write
down
mine
so you
down
don't
yet.
steal it.
All right, I got mine down.
Okay. My answer 21%.
21%. Josh? 33%.
That's
All
where I
right.
started, and then I got a
I
new
just
note card and
went for the
took it a little
third, you
lower.
know.
Um,
I thought about going 33.3, but that would get screwy.
Yeah, just
Did you
doing
imagine you picked 33? Well, it doesn't matter who's closer, I guess.
All right. All right, so this had a
Not
total
even
of 1,804 votes. How's that sampling size, Simon?
That's
a
a
pretty good
solid
sampling
sampling
size.
size. Yeah.
The percentage of the FF community that prefers Taysom Hill over Jameis Winston is 45%.
What?
45%.
Oh man, I thought Jameis
Oh.
would steal a little bit more of that away.
Apple
Dang.
MVP was within
You were
Nice,
right
Apple.
there.
Good
right
job,
there.
man.
Yep.
Good job.
Swamp. I don't know if you were
Dang.
answering from Breeze's perspective, but 40% is close.
I think he was answering for Drew Brees. Drew Brees.
Drew
is probably
Brees
there.
got 9% of the vote.
I think
Wow.
he was saying Drew Brees is probably with him since they're both in New Orleans. So at least I assume
Right
from
there,
Noah.
yeah.
So Drew Brees is probably sitting there with him and told him, "Hey, put 40, but make sure they know it's from me."
Yeah. Rub his forehead and it'll give you good luck.
Ooh, so I got a big old 0 on that one. That was definitely more than
Yes,
15
so-
percentage points away.
So let's see. So Simon, you got 0.
While you're calculating that, Josh and I will answer these questions. Brady or Taysom this week?
Honestly, you might be surprised. I mean, I'm gonna go Brady, but Taysom Hill I actually do like this week. But I'm gonna go Brady just for the safety factor. But Taysom Hill, you've ran all over the place. You look good. I'm impressed.
Now the Broncos pass rush is actually pretty good. But I actually think that might be a good thing for Taysom Hill's fantasy value. Like I think he might flush out of the pocket in the same way Drew Brees dumps off to Alvin Kamara. Taysom Hill's going to get flushed out and he's just going to run for his life with Bradley Chubb breathing down his neck.
And Tom Brady's playing the Chiefs. I mean,
and that's a decent secondary right there.
I know.
And if they
but
can
shootout potential with the Chiefs.
You're right.
You know?
And you know what? I'm actually not worried about good secondaries against Tom Brady. I'm worried about good pass rushes. And correct me if I'm wrong, but the Chiefs pass rush is good, right?
It's fine. I think
it's good.
Yeah.
It's
they
not,
have Chris Jones, and
it's not the Rams pass rush that he just played.
Whoa. Swamp Nola delivered some Jimmy Johns to Drew Brees yesterday.
What?
What? Why are you coming here talking about fantasy? You should start with that. Hey guys, what's up? I delivered to Drew Brees yesterday.
What's up?
That's awesome.
I touched Drew Brees' sandwich yesterday. How was your day? I actually think I'm gonna back up a little bit to that question. I think I'm starting Taysom Hill.
Nice. I like the balls,
The balls.
I think Brady's definitely safer. Brady is 100% safer. So if you don't,
so much safer.
Oh God! But I think
I'd start Taysom Hill's the upside.
Josh
I don't think it's a bad idea.
Josh would start Brady. It sounds like for the safety. I would start Hill.
I would.
Double check real quick. Josh gets 1 point, right? If he was within 12
15.
points. So
No.
Yep. If you're within 15, you get 1. If you're within 10, you get 3. If you're in 5, you get 5. And if you get it exactly right, you get 10.
Okay.
So not even average. I love your username. Hey guys, PPR. I need to fill 1 flex spot and 1 wide receiver position. I have Ahmed, Claypool, Cooks. Who should I start? I'm going Cooks and Claypool. Josh?
Yeah.
Yep.
Absolutely.
All in agreement?
Yes.
Okay.
Swamp Apple MVP says Swamp Nola equals Sean Payton. We have never seen his
lot
lips.
Of sense, actually. Yeah.
He's pursing his lips. Yeah. Maybe
Sean
when we
Payton,
get him on the show, we'll know.
He needs some good fantasy advice. You know where he's going to come. Right here.
Right here, yeah.
I like that one. Taysom Tails. That's his name. I know you were saying Taysom plays if you hit tails, but
Taysom Tails.
Okay. So Josh is beating me 1-0 after 1 round.
1-0. All right.
There's 2 rounds for me to come back.
There's plenty of rounds to go. All right. Round dos. In Dynasty Leagues, what percentage of the FF community prefers James Robinson over Antonio Gibson?
Ooh.
In Dynasty Leagues, what percentage of the fantasy football community prefers James
Robinson? I'm not even sure whether to go. I don't know which side I prefer or which side the Dynasty community prefers either.
Thank you, Not Even Average. Appreciate the questions.
Man, this is jail. These polls are nasty. Let's see. I'm going to go with my answer.
Yeah. You're going to go with your answer? That's good. That is certainly how you should play the game.
All right. I got my answer.
I just changed
it.
it.
Sean is 100% right. Jimmy John's is something to their bread. I don't know what it is. Everyone makes fun.
It is. It's tasty.
Everyone always makes fun of me because I used to order Turkey Tom without the turkey. So I just ordered a Tom. Eric. Ask Eric. Eric's the one who would always make fun of me for that. On our Friday fun.
Next time he comes on, we'll ask him to make fun of you a little bit more. Josh, you show your answer first this time.
I am confident in my response.
81%.
A little tiny one. Yeah. That's what I just did.
My first answer was actually below 50%, but then I adjusted it to slightly above 50%.
That's how confident I am.
I think people still value Antonio Gibson very highly.
Was it 52?
Yeah, I said 52. I'm not entirely sure.
Listen, I could see you being correct here, but man, I don't know. Yeah.
Which side would you want? Would you want James Robinson?
Yeah, I would.
All right. Make sure you get your guesses in, all my people in the audience. I see there's a few in there. All right. So the percentage of the FF community that prefers James Robinson over Antonio Gibson It's 45%.
Woo! Man, I should have stayed.
Wait. I lied about that. 42%. I read Swamp Nola's guess. It's 42%. I
Oh,
always do
Swamp
that.
Nola was right there.
He was still close, yeah. 42%. So that gives Josh, you got 0. You're 39% percentage point. Oh, Sancho.
It is what it is. No, I mean, I mean, James Robinson's playing that much better to me, in my opinion. I know the draft capital isn't there, but
That's what I was gonna say. People in
I
Dynasty,
much rather have James Robinson.
jail made me pop up. So that's
my
not the
God.
first time that's happened. That's happened before, where like we told someone they got it exactly right, and they jump out of their chair.
Because when we were doing the podcast, the podcast, and I think I said it. I said your guys' guess, and you all flipped out, like just straight, like screaming into our ears, and I was like, wait, I was wrong. It's not that at all.
Yeah, that was rough, man.
Oh God. All right,
Wrong,
so
Josh.
Simon, you get 3 points.
I get
'cause
3
you
points.
You were exactly 10 percentage points away.
Okay, Josh, it's 3-1. It all comes down to this.
It does not. We still have 3 more rounds. All right, round 3.
We're doing all 5.
All
yeah,
5,
we can,
yeah.
we can power
Quick.
through these.
In Dynasty, what percentage of the EVA community prefer AJ Brown over Devontae Adams?
Oh man, AJ Brown or Devontae Adams, huh?
Yep, 3,614 votes.
Okay, I got mine in.
Sorry, I was ripping paper.
JL Steve Harvey'd me.
It's my specialty.
Um,
You should hopefully.
let's
Yeah,
see.
you were there when we were playing Fantasy Feud. Ba-ding. Show me 45%.
While you're coming up with your answer, Duke versus Detroit, Balaj versus Buffalo,
Okay, I got
or
it.
AB versus Kansas City. I'm going to play Antonio Brown versus Kansas City. I
I
think.
think
Yeah.
there's one more question above that too.
Yeah,
Did I miss
Not
one?
even averaged through one in
I'm
there.
going AB. Tom was just targeting him so much. To Simon's
Duke versus yeah,
dismay.
yeah,
to
probably AB for me as well.
Let's see. One more. Montgomery or Boyd in the flex. I'm scared to start Boyd with no Burrow, but out of the 3 wide receiver, Boyd should be the best.
Guess what happened last year when they had no quarterbacks whatsoever? Boyd had a
Boyd.
fantastic year. I think he's going to be just as involved, if not more involved.
Is Montgomery playing
Wait,
for sure?
David Montgomery, right?
He's
Yeah.
planning. It looks like he's
Not Ty
probably playing. He's expected to play, I believe, but I'm certain Boyd, and I'm confident in Boyd still. Actually,
Yeah, it looks like he cleared the concussion protocol 4 hours ago. Well, that's when the news broke.
I think
So he'll likely play.
I'm starting Montgomery. Just he's got guaranteed volume there. If he is playing, I think I'm going to start him. It's not sexy, but I'm going to take that guaranteed work there and see what Ryan Finley can do for a week before I.
it's
throw
not Ryan
Boyd back up.
Finley. It's Brandon Allen.
Oh, is it
Is it?
Brandon Allen?
Really?
Okay, I last I heard it was Ryan Finley. Brandon
Yep.
Allen. Yeah, then
That's
I'm
what everyone
definitely gonna watch.
expected, but they announced, I think, this morning that it's Brandon Allen.
Okay. Yeah,
Or maybe
Okay.
last night.
Honestly, I agree with both of you. I don't know which one I would pick here, but I agree with
Is it
both of
PPR?
your points.
If it's PPR, I'm definitely going Boyd. But yeah,
Josh,
I'm ready.
Josh makes a good point. He was good last year, despite not having a QB. All T Higgins,
Wow.
all the rest of the wide receivers there. I'm not as bullish on.
Okay, I'm throwing my answer to you.
All right, 17%. 45%. All right.
Ooh, we are.
Simon and I,
very different
yeah,
yet
we
again.
are off. We are not off. We're just differing. And I understand, again, either way here.
All right. Let me do a little math here. I think there's another question. Ebron or Jared Cook PPR? While I figure this out.
Ebron.
Ebron with Taysom Hill, and I'm going Ebron.
Absolutely.
I dropped Jared Cook in 2 leagues and picked up Jordan Reed this
Yeah.
week. Just because I do not trust that with Taysom Hill there at all.
And then we got one more question here. McSweet.
Pick
Standard.
2. Standard. Derrick Henry for sure.
Sorry.
Derrick Henry 1,000% sure, and then probably Antonio Gibson.
Yeah, Green Gibson.
That's a
Um,
Fortnite guy too, isn't it? But sorry, I digress. Derrick Henry for sure.
Jared Cook is so sad. It's so sad. So many, such high expectations for him this year.
Man, yeah,
That's a tough
that's
question.
really killing some of my leagues with Taysom Hill taking over. I had Alvin Kamara and Jared Cook kind of really helping me out, and I'm worried
Yeah.
I'm worried about it now. But We'll
All
see.
right.
Do you guys go Gibson or Swift here? Because we all agree on Derrick Henry.
Gibson.
Okay.
But
He's got a really good matchup too, right?
yeah, he does. That's the thing. And he's been playing well, but I love DeAndre Swift. If you started him, I wouldn't blame you, but I would be starting Gibson.
Yeah. Dallas.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it.
It's all
He's
right.
needed one. He needed Eric.
It's all right. Yeah. And I need compliments too. So I really appreciate that.
All right. You guys ready?
I mean, you're ugly.
I'm ready.
All right. So the actual percentage of the public that prefers AJ Brown over Devontae Adams, 33%.
33. Math me. Did I get
I'm
points?
15.
Who gets
No.
45? Who gets
Yeah,
45?
wait, I am.
All right, so Josh gets points. Simon, you were 16 percentage points.
Oh, God.
Josh, you get 1 point because you were 12 percentage points.
Oh man. No.
So this is a snail
Uzi
race.
Vert says, I traded DJ Moore and Rojo for Mike Evans, mostly just for my bench thoughts. I like it. Those are two of my favorite wide receivers. I have them on a lot of my teams, DJ Moore and Mike Evans.
Throw Amari Cooper in there, and Simon's off. Yeah,
that is my wide receiver trifecta: DJ Moore, Mike Evans, Amari Cooper. Those are my boys. But I like that trade. DJ Moore's making me nervous with how much Curtis Samuel and Robbie Anderson have been involved this year. I'm not sure he's the guy from a production standpoint that I thought he was going to be. I still believe he's the guy from a talent standpoint. Mike Evans is a touchdown monster.
Oh God, I just keep replaying him just like bodying his way into the end
Stop
zone.
it. This is gonna get inappropriate on stream if I think about that anymore.
No, I'm sorry.
Josh, your mom is watching.
What? I just got excited. What do you mean? She's probably not watching anymore, right?
Okay. Will Thielen play this week? I don't know, but
no, he won't. He's on COVID list. Mixed
no,
feelings.
he
might.
tested negative. He tested positive, and then he tested negative.
Yeah, he
Oh.
might. It's a wait and see.
Okay, I apologize.
Unless he tested positive again, but they're
I'm just waiting until Swamp Nola photoshops little emojis of us, starts using it against us.
I think we have to get Twitch partnered first, and then we can get our own emojis.
Really?
I'm pretty sure that's how that works.
Yeah, affiliated. Yeah. But
so
in
go
regard to Thielen-
convince people to follow us on Twitch. We're like 7 people away.
I was going to say
7 followers away.
I think we're 6 now.
Get
I
us
think we
some
got
Twitch
one today.
followers.
We are 6 Twitch followers away from being able to become affiliates.
Yeah.
And if you guys
If
do that,
you're-
then we can get you some emojis.
If you go
we
home
could
for
use
Thanksgiving, you go to your
Libra.
parents, you say, "Mom,
Give me your
new
phone."
thing.
Hey,
It's called Twitch. Let me just,
Hey, Mom.
I'm gonna do some file here. You're gonna get some emails. Don't worry about it. Just hook her up. She needs some fantasy advice too.
He was ahead of you on it. Before you even said that, he said, I'll tell my mom. Perfect.
That's what's up.
Neighbors, we condone stealing people's phones and subscribing to us.
Okay. Let's power. We got 2 more rounds, Joe.
Let's do it.
2 more.
Or-
All right.
okay.
3-2. Very close. Where was I here? All right.
Real fast, McSweet. He has COVID, but apparently he might be able to play. Sorry, I just wanted to clear.
I think
up
it's
the
if he can
Thielen
get
thing.
multiple negative tests in a row. Then they'll
And I
show that the
understand what
first one
you're
was a
saying.
false positive.
Exactly. That's what it is. So it's weird. So we don't know. We're just guessing at this point.
Let's see.
Apple MVP said he searched subreddit for FYF. He did see one. So we did create one about maybe a year ago. As I mentioned a little earlier in the episode, like we were working on like a trade mediation platform for a while, and we were doing like the podcast. But we never really committed to the subreddit, so I just sort of like sit there, and I don't know how to delete it. But we are active in the others, like the fantasy subreddits, fantasy football and Dynasty
FF. Yep.
Who knows? And if you guys, we were thinking about maybe putting together a Discord or something to get a group going. So if you guys like that, or if you want us to get the subreddit up and going again, let us know. Like, we are happy to do that.
For sure.
All
Okay.
right.
Round 4.
All right. In Dynasty, what percentage of
Dynasty
the FF community prefer AJ Brown over Calvin Ridley?
Ooh.
Gross. What?
That's
Get your
actually
guesses
the
in.
toughest one yet, in my
What?
opinion.
He's had 3,614 votes.
All right, I'm good. Let me know when you want it.
Get your guesses in the comments.
Okay. I got mine. Josh, you can show yours first if you would like.
All right. Well, I have the right guess of 63%.
63%.
I also went above 50%, but I went a little closer to half and half, and I said 54%. It's close
right.
though, man.
Oof.
So
Oof, that's right.
Swamp says 56, 35. Apple, I almost said below 50 because I think I prefer Calvin Ridley. I'm just trying to think, what does the dynasty community prefer? I don't know. What do we got, JL?
all right. Swamp Nola gets 56%. All right. So the actual percentage that prefers AJ Brown over Calvin Ridley in dynasty, 66%.
What? Let's go!
Simon, you were 3 percentage points away. You get 5 points.
No, not me. Josh was 3 percentage points away.
Josh, you were 3 percentage points away. Simon, you get 1 point because you were 12 percentage points away. Yep.
Wait, so Josh gets 5. So it's now 7-4.
Yeah.
Oh man, Josh, look at that.
The last one.
Look at that.
Last question.
All right, so we're doing the same rules, right? For round 5.
Yep.
Closest to it gets 5 points. If you get it directly, you get 10 points.
Oh, I was just going to do another round we can do that if you want.
It helps Simon's chances, but I'm fine doing it that way
It
too.
does, yeah. All right.
Or we can, okay. Yeah, we'll do it.
Oh, this is a special one. I got this one just for you guys. I'm excited about this one. 16-team half PPR redraft league. What percentage of the FF community prefers Antonio Gibson over Ezekiel Elliott?
What? Oh my god, I don't all right.
No.
McSweet said Alex Smith or Wentz. I think Alex Smith.
Wentz.
Really?
Yeah.
Wentz has been playing like poo-poo.
Who are the Eagles
Alex
playing?
Smith has been playing well.
Alex
No,
Smith threw
he's been
for
playing like
over
shit.
300 yards. And
he came back from a lot, Josh. All right.
Look up his fantasy points, guys.
You get emotional. You get emotional points.
Okay, so Alex Smith is 11, 16, and then 8.34 that's his last 3 weeks. Wentz. Oh, it just has a picture of poo-poo here. It's 6.62, 6.72, 11.4. Wow,
yeah. Okay, let's talk. Look at their points.
They're so similar. They're so similar. Well, Alex Smith wasn't playing the first half of the year.
Smith versus Cowboys, Wentz versus Seahawks, and they both have great matchups. I'll go Wentz versus the Seahawks, actually. That's where I'm going. Man, that feels like poop, but yeah, I'm going Wentz versus Seahawks. Josh, are you ready? Do you want me to go first, or do you want to go first?
Anything to do with Alex Smith? And now I'm not saying I want anything to do with Wentz necessarily, but
yeah.
You go first because
NFC
I let you play this way.
31%.
No. Okay.
What did you say? 27%. Oh, we are real close. Josh, wait, my first answer, I crumpled it up. I had 28. I changed it. I changed
We got a couple guesses here. Swamp Nola is 71%. Apple MVP.
70. Oh, wow.
40%. Swamp Nola said he could go 69%. Nice.
For the math. For the math of it, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. The actual percentage of the public that prefers Antonio Gibson over Ezekiel Elliott. %. You guys are both wrong.
Yeah, but I was closer.
Exactly 50%. That's a stupid poll.
That is a dumb poll.
That is a really poll.
Apparently it's not that dumb.
In redraft. Yeah.
Apple MVP was pretty close with the 40% guess.
Pretty close. I think Apple MVP probably won. I think he's had the most.
Apple MVP freaking destroyed us.
Yeah, and 69 wasn't far either. You guys definitely did better than both. I think 69 was the same farness that I was. 31 is the same distance from 50 as 69 is, right?
I can only do some math.
Yeah, both are 19 away. Look at that. Look at my
Simon.
math.
I'm taking Zeke, guys. I don't know. What are you taking? JL, are you taking Zeke?
I'm taking Zeke.
I'm taking Zeke. But
I'm taking
in redraft, it makes it interesting.
Either
redraft.
way, I'm thinking Zeke. Yeah,
I am too. I'm agreeing with you, but it does make it interesting.
I'm going to be 100% honest with you. I did not realize this was a redraft
I hope you're
league.
never not 100% honest with us.
But it really doesn't. It wouldn't. It changed my. Maybe it might have put me above Simon if I knew. Okay. Oh, it doesn't matter.
9 to
It's all
7. Man, that's a close one.
good. It was a good game, even though Simon cheated.
Great
I
game,
don't know
Josh.
how he did, but
Yeah,
I might
totally
have
cheated. JL actually sent me the polls ahead of time, and I thought I would just try to make it close.
That
So,
makes a lot more sense.
Yeah. Great game, Josh. You know what? Victory tastes good. That's my favorite Thanksgiving appetizer. A little bit of victory on Wednesday.
Stuffing and mashed potatoes. Get out of here.
I'll stuff your mashed
I'm excited.
potatoes.
I'm excited.
JL, can you
Thursday's
throw
special episode.
you say Thursday's a special episode
Mhm.
when we stuff mashed potatoes?
Bye.
Guys,
we will be here.
we will be here tomorrow on Thanksgiving. Not our normal stream, but same time. We're gonna hang out, play some games. If you guys want to come join us for a little bit, probably have a beer or two.
It's gonna be laid back. We're just gonna be talking about the
exactly.
games. Maybe playing a few games, but
Awesome. Well, if you guys want to follow us on YouTube, you can go subscribe there, Front Yard Fantasy, Twitch as well. If you guys can help us get to 50 followers on Twitch, that would be awesome. We're right there near affiliate status on Twitch.
Simon will post a video of him rubbing grape jelly all over himself if you get us to 50.
Actually, if I get to 50, I promise I won't. If we don't get to 50, I will.
Do not follow us. Disregard what I said
We don't
earlier.
want that. We don't want
it.
Real fast mixed wheat. I would go Matt Ryan over Wentz and Alex Smith.
Yep. Agreed.
Yep.
Okay. We will see you guys tomorrow at 3:00. Thanks for tuning in today. Josh, you're a loser. I'm a winner. We will
I love
see
you
then.
guys.